Hello, everyone. This is week 3, and my presentation for this week, I'm going to be talking about, or my sermon, I'm going to be talking about being a good Samaritan and the comparison of how it is today in our world and how it was, um, when Jesus taught his followers how to love the outcast of the world and to show that love is needed to overcome injustice. And so, I think that the way the world is and with all the struggles that people are going through right now, that it's imperative that we all adopt the theory of being a good Samaritan whenever possible, just so that we can look out for one another and stand up for what's right and for what's wrong. And there was one verse in Luke 10:27 where he said, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself." So, it's always been God's will that we love one another, even when that person might not be who you would ideally love, or maybe that person is not your family or your children or your husband. Maybe that person is a complete stranger, but sometimes you have to step outside of your box and help others just as you would want someone to help you. Jesus gave the word neighbor a new meaning anyone in need. It would be considered your neighbor. And when we help others, we help Christ, because that's what his will was. We have to remember to look at the big picture and to understand that, things of this world were not the way that God intended them to be. And, in order for us to make the world a better place, we all have to try as Christians to do our part to try to improve situations. There's a lot of homeless people right now. There's a lot of people that are in need, and even simple things like, shoes or blankets or food. I had a whole bunch of food that I was planning to, get rid of when I moved locations at work, and I decided to pack all that food up and give it to someone, since I didn't have any use for it anymore. But it was still good food. Nothing was wrong with it, and to be able to hand somebody a bag of food and not expect anything and not even know that person, does make you feel like a better person. You have to try to see things for what they are. You can't save the world, and you can't, be how maybe it might have been back in Jesus's time, where, you could take in, a person in need into your family and try to help them. But anything is something. And God is always looking for people who want to grow spiritually and are hungry for the word of God. So living a spiritual life is something that we have to decide for ourselves, and it's something that we must want. And there are a lot of steps to living a spiritual life and following the role and the will of God, but we can all do it if we really want it. So, God will always give you the will to continue, so long as you believe and follow his will and always try to live a spiritual life, no matter what the current world brings your way. And one thing that I would like for people to, think about and maybe answer for themselves are you able to love others as you love yourself? Are you able to have compassion for those who are in need and just might need a helping hand, or, you know, a short conversation? It could make the difference, to someone's life just for those little things. So, you know, ask that question to yourself, and, you go and you do how God would want you to do, and, you know, think about others, and, you know, just remember that we're all on this spiritual journey, and God is watching everything, and He's making sure that we are following how He would expect. So that is my sermon for this week. Thank you.